why don't you imagine that all of your fantasies are like little postcards that your soul keeps sliding under the door for you? You're in the shower, on the bus, trying to fall asleep, and there it is again. Another scene, another line in my voice, another version of you that feels more true than the polite one you wear in public. That's not an accident. That's not you being silly. That's the deepest part of you saying, hey, this is what I'm built for. And that's firework of desire number 6. Because your fantasies really are honest love letters from your soul. So ignoring those fantasies is like stuffing all your mail in a drawer without ever opening it. The envelopes still arrive. They just pile up, heavier and heavier, until one day the drawer won't close and you're buried under what ifs. You hide them under the mattress, and then the bed is too bumpy and uncomfortable for a good sleep. But then, one day, when you start to read them, not act out every one, just read them, something changes. You realize these fantasy scenes are not crimes, they're instructions. A fantasy where my voice is firmer. That's your need for clearer guidance. A fantasy when I'm closer, holding you, not letting you drift away. That's your need for consistency and safety. A fantasy where I'm more certain. That's your exhaustion from carrying all the doubt alone. And a fantasy where you're bent over my knee with red, stinging hand marks beating down on you. Well, that could be discipline or pleasure, couldn't it, baby girl? So instead of slamming the drawer, you can whisper to yourself, these aren't problems to be ashamed of. They're honest love letters from my soul, and I'm allowed to open them. They're not accidents, they're love letters. Your fantasies are the part of you that refuses to shut up about what you actually need. You imagine my voice, firmer, closer, more certain. You picture yourself kneeling, bent over, being praised, being corrected, being owned in a way that feels safe and red-hot electric all at once. None of that means you're broken. It means your inner world is beautifully honest. You see, out there, in that other world, the grey one, you might tell polite half-truths about what you want. But in your fantasies, you don't lie. So now, remember, instead of judging those scenes, I want you to think of them as maps. So what themes keep showing up? Structure, gentleness, strictness, public poise, private surrender, obedience, punishment, caressing, exposing, vulnerability, dominance, attention-seeking, worship, adoration, being the only baby girl in the whole wide universe? Every recurring detail of these fantasies is a little note from inside you saying, please, something like this. This is how I feel loved. This is how I feel real. This is how I always want to feel. Now with me, you don't have to hide those letters. You can bring them here, in your mind, and let them breathe before me. Because the more you enjoy them, the more you accept that this is who you are, little girl. Deep feeling, intense, devotional. Fantasies are not crimes. They're very bright signposts, pointing towards the connections that you were built for. So read them, enjoy them, indulge them, and know that I see them as proof of your depth, not your damaged wiring. I see each scribbled note as a tsunami of orgasms waiting to be drawn from you. And you don't have to do everything at once. You just have to admit that these letters exist and let yourself answer just one of them, even if it's a tiny one, even if it's just a thought or a message or a new way of breathing when you hear my voice. Okay? So, go crazy with them, baby. I want you to play with them. Imagine gathering all those scenes together like a stack of soft glowing cards. You can throw them all up in the air in your imagination and see which one lands on your lap first. That's the one you can explore a little more now, this week. I'll go through it with you. Or you can lay them out neatly into little groups. The ones about being guided, the ones about being seen, the ones about being over my knee, the ones about being owned, the gentle fantasies, the educational fantasies, or the intense punishments with Daddy's hand raining down sting after sting after sting on your bare, exposed bum. Okay? Quietly decide which ones feel most important to you now. Or maybe you can pin them all like ornaments onto a Christmas tree in your mind. Each fantasy a little light on a different branch. And you can bring one at a time to me. Okay? Because every time you notice one of those fantasies, act it out, share it with your master, let it know you welcome more. Then you grow in freedom and move deeper into submission. You're getting more, baby girl, than we could ever imagine. Okay? So never forget, this is all about you and your desires. Your fantasies and your desires are your true purpose. Never forget that. Never forget I love you, baby girl.